Mention a compact car, and one that easily comes to mind is the Honda Civic. For many years, it's been the prime choice for people who want a fuel-efficient and reliable vehicle. The last generation Civic was introduced in the 2012 model year and was a pretty big disappointment initially, as it had very un-Honda-like traits of having subpar build quality and materials, and was too related to the generation before it. This quickly forced Honda to refreshing the vehicle in 2013, improving key areas where the Civic was lacking. However, with this new 2016 model, the Civic is completely redesigned on the inside and out with better driving dynamics and fuel efficiency and better technology too. If you're looking for a compact car for 2016, you would be crazy to not put the 2016 Civic on your list. So let's go ahead and check out this 2016 Honda Civic. Now, our model of the Civic we have here is an EX trim. Now, there's many trims that you can get on the Civic, but basically it's the LX, EX, EXT, EXL, and then the touring models too. And then you can select navigation if you want, or the Honda Sensing package, which gives you all of the safety technology from adaptive cruise control to lane departure warning, all that good stuff. Now, ours also comes with these pretty good looking 16-inch alloy wheels. And they look unique, they don't look boring or plain, which I love. Now, overall, the style of the new Civic, I love it too. You can get LED headlights. Now, the Civic also comes standard with LED daytime running lights, which is a nice little feature to have. Here goes the key fob design for the vehicle. It's your typical Honda smart key. You have your remote keyless entry, your lock, unlock, and then you also have remote engine start now. And then to release your trunk, and then your panic button. Love the new redesigned key here. Now, this color is known as the Modern Steel Metallic. And then also you do have smart key access on the driver's door as well as the front passenger door, which comes standard on the EX trims and above. You also do have a full-on black cloth interior. Pretty good looking design to them. Look a lot more modern than the old seats in the Civic. You also do have manual driver's seat adjustments with manual recline too. Alright, now stepping on inside of the new fresh cabin design of the Civic, it's really nice that they finally redesigned this cabin. The old cabin has basically been out since the 2006 model year. This is the first time they fully redesigned the cabin since around 2006. Gone is the eyebrow dash design, and it's a lot more modern looking. It's a lot more sleek too, and it's a pretty nice cabin overall. Very stylish. I'm pretty impressed. Now you do have push button ignition. Just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to start. And what you're hearing there is a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. Coming to the transmission, you have an optional CVT automatic. Your standard transmission on the Civic is going to be a 6-speed manual. Thank God they're still offering a manual transmission. You also do have lower gear selection on this too. When you put the vehicle into reverse, you have a standard rear view camera with guidance signs. And then you can also change the different views of the rear view camera by pressing on the touchscreen right here. You have a normal view, a wide-angled view, and then a top-down view too. So it's a multi-angle rear view camera. Pretty nice there that they do offer that as standard equipment. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on the lights and the hazards. Automatic driver's side window. Let's go ahead and pop up the hood, check out the engine bay. With this generation Civic, Honda wanted to make the appearance a lot more muscular, modern, and sleek too, and they certainly succeeded. You have new halogen projector beam headlights with LED daytime running lights, which do come standard. Like I said earlier in the video, LED headlights are also optional. And then you have the Acura-like beak on the front end. Certainly the design of the new Civic has a lot more presence and is more bold looking too. And it's much more stylish this time around. Now powering the Civic, you will find your base powertrain right here. It's a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder that produces 158 horsepower at 6,500 RPM and 138 pound-feet of torque at 4,200 RPM, with EPA estimates being a very fuel efficient and top of the class 31 in the city and 41 on the highway. Finally, they hit that 40 mile per gallon mark. Overall, you will find that this powertrain does provide a decent amount of power and is reasonably fuel efficient too. Now the biggest news is the availability of a new 1.5-liter turbo 4-cylinder. It's a very peppy powertrain and is very fuel efficient for the amount of power it has. But this 2-liter 4-cylinder should satisfy most consumers. It is front-wheel drive, and you can get a 6-speed manual or a new CVT automatic too. Now trims for the Civic start at the base LX trim, which starts at $18,640. And then you have the EX, which starts at $21,040. The EXT starts at $22,200. And then the EXL starts at $23,700. And then finally the Touring starts at $26,500. Now you can also choose if you want the Honda Sensing package or navigation as well. Now as far as competitors go for the Civic, you have the vehicles in the compact car class, of course. This includes the likes of the Ford Focus, Nissan Sentra, Volkswagen Jetta, Chevrolet Cruze, Dodge Dart, Mazda 3, Subaru Impreza. Many competitors in this class. And the Civic is a bit pricier than some of its rivals. It's a little on the high end in terms of price. But it comes loaded with many more standard features than a lot of its competitors, and optional features. You can get many other features on the Civic that are not available on many of its competitors. Right here you have a little camera on the mirror, which is for your Honda Lane Watch system, which I'll show you in just a second. Now the most controversial styling detail is its hatchback-like design. When you come to the rear of the vehicle, it doesn't look like a normal sedan anymore. Now you do have these pretty good-looking LED taillights, rear reflectors as well, and a rear window defroster. Certainly it looks very unique and nothing looks like it on the road. Now the Civic is also available in 2 other body styles, a hatchback as well as a coupe too. And you also do have LED license plate lights. EPA estimates, like I said, are 31 in the city and 41 on the highway. Total vehicle price, including destination and handling, you're looking at $21,875. Power windows, power door locks, and your power mirrors too. Let's go ahead and rev it up. Very nice. Now, the 2 best words to describe the new cabin design of the Civic here is upscale and mature. And build quality and materials are pretty good inside of this vehicle. It's certainly top of the class, and it's not in the bottom of the pack anymore. Up here you have nice soft touch materials, and on the mid-door panel it's wrapped in cloth and the armrest too. Up here you have this nice softly padded material. You also do have this fake molded stitching, which is a nice touch. It gives it a more upscale feel inside of here. But overall the cabin design is very stylish and I love it. Now coming to the stairwell design, love the new stairwell design here. Now over here we have your Bluetooth phone controls, your steering wheel mounted audio controls, voice recognition, and then this right here controls your information center, which I'll get to in just a second. Over here we also do have your cruise control. Adaptive cruise control is also optional with the Honda Sensing package. The steering wheel also does manually tilt and telescope. Pretty good range of adjustment. Now, what I love about the new cabin of the Civic here is certainly how roomy it feels. It doesn't feel like a compact car anymore. It feels more like a mid-size sedan. Up here we also do have your manually dimming rearview mirror, your sunroof with your sunroof controls and a sliding shade. Headliner is also pretty high quality feeling. And also, I really love the new seats in the Civic. They're very comfortable and provide lots of support. Thigh support is also excellent. They're very plush feeling, and in the last generation Civic, the seats were kind of firm feeling and felt kind of cheap too. But I really love these new seats. The design of them is also more modern looking. Down here we also do have a little storage cubby. There's a lot more storage space in this new Civic here. We also do have a USB charging port too down here. And then right here we also do have your electronic parking brake and then your econ mode for saving fuel. You also find another little storage cubby right there. Now the new center console design is very impressive in the new Civic here. Now there's lots of center console storage. It's very deep and pretty long too. And you have your armrest right here, which does slide and it adjusts and then it lifts up like this too. And then you also do have this little sliding tray right here, and then your cup holders. Everything pretty much slides, which is pretty nice. Down here you also do find a USB charging port, which is pretty cool. It's pretty unique looking too. Really love this new center console design. And you'll find more storage space than you will find in many mid-size sedans. Pretty cool. Now you may think with the new hatchback-like design that the visibility inside of the Civic has been compromised, but that's not really the case here. Visibility is still excellent inside of this vehicle. Now seeing out of the front windows is pretty easy to do. There's lots of glass area. A-pillars are also very thin, which helps out a lot. And then seeing out of the windshield is pretty easy too. When you get to rearward visibility, you have a little small rear quarter window, which helps out a lot. And seeing out of the rear isn't too shabby. Overall visibility is still pretty good inside of the Civic. Pretty impressed with that. Now coming to the gauges in the instrument cluster, Honda finally got rid of the eyebrow dash design that they've been using since 2006. These gauges are much more simpler. They're much more traditional looking too. And coming over here we have your coolant temperature. I really love the style of them with the little bars. They look pretty cool. And then over here we have your fuel gauge. And then coming in the center right there, we have your vehicle information. We also have your tachometer, your digital speedometer, and then your trip odometer, digital clock, exterior temperature readout. Shows you various amounts of things here. And then you have your oil life percentage right here. Shows you your music, what radio station is playing, what song is playing, all that good stuff. And then you could change your radio source from here too. Coming over here, you can make a telephone call from here if you have your Bluetooth phone connected. And then right here you can change your distance units too, from miles per hour to kilometers. And then right here, this gives you your fuel range, average fuel economy. It gives you a little bar graph too, which is pretty cool. Overall, love the rendering and the graphics of this little LCD screen here. And the gauges in the instrument cluster are much better looking, and I love how they're much more traditional this time around. Now in this new Civic we also do have the latest multimedia interface and infotainment system. Now this is your home screen right here, coming to your different audio sources. Your audio sources do include all of the norm, AM, FM, XM satellite radio too is also optional, and then you have Bluetooth streaming audio, Pandora internet radio, USB port with iPod integration, and your auxiliary input, and you can access your audio apps too. Pretty cool there. Coming to info right here, you have your trip computer. Shows you your average fuel economy, history of your trip too. And then Right here you have your voice info, your clock and your wallpaper, your system device information. Here's your clock and your wallpaper. It gives you your digital clock and the date. And then right here you have your Honda link. And you can connect with the Honda Link app using your smartphone, or you can connect using Wi-Fi. And the Honda Link, basically you could search up things, and then you can access various apps too. You have AHA radio too, which you have to access through your smartphone data connection. Love this new infotainment system here. The responsiveness of this touchscreen is also excellent. And then I love how it swipes like this. Works just like a tablet. Pretty cool. Over here we also do have your phone. You can hook up your Bluetooth phone, have all of your contacts stored on here, have an integrated dial pad, view your call history. One thing I'm not a big fan of though is the touch sensitive buttons for the volume control. I wish they would just put a regular knob. And then you have your app list over here. You have your app installer, browser, a little calculator, which is nice, gallery. This is basically like a little tablet integrated into the car. Pretty cool. Overall, love this new infotainment system and multimedia interface. One of the best in the business. And then you also do have your digital clock in the upper right hand corner, which shows at all times. You can also control your climate functions from here. Of course, you have your fan speeds, different zones, all that good stuff if you don't want to control it down here. Now, one thing they really did improve on with the new Civic is wind and road noise, and it's pretty quiet inside of here, which is very un-Honda-like. And usually Hondas have a lot of wind and road noise, and it can get pretty excessive, but that's not the case here. At highway speeds, this vehicle is pretty quiet. The 2-liter 4-cylinder does provide adequate power. However, if you do want more power, go with that 1.5-liter 4-cylinder turbo, but both powertrains will be pretty powerful and very fuel efficient too. The CVT automatic is well calibrated, it's pretty responsive, and works very smoothly with this 2-liter 4-cylinder. Handling and steering on the Civic, it's very predictable, and it's very fun to drive around twisty canyon roads, and you can feel for where this vehicle is trying to go. Overall, the Civic does have very well balanced driving dynamics, and it's definitely one of the best vehicles to drive in the class, and they certainly put a lot more fun and entertainment when driving this vehicle. It's not as boring to drive as the last generation Civic. Alright, and let's go ahead and shut down the vehicle. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the car. Build quality and materials somewhat follow through in the rear, but you do have a hard touch upper door panel and mid door panel. Armrest is slightly padded. Now, sitting back here, one thing they really did improve on is rear seat space for the occupants. And there's a decent amount of legroom to spare. I'm about 6 feet tall, and I have the driving position to where mine would be at. This vehicle certainly feels more of like a mid-size sedan. There's also decent headroom too. You'll find a single mat pocket back here and a rear center armrest with cup holders. The seats themselves are also fairly comfortable and pretty well supportive. Overall, it's a pretty comfortable experience, and you will find heated seats back here on higher end trim levels. Alright. Love how the trunk opens all the way up. Now, the trunk in the Civic is very large. Top of the class, certainly. Now, the rear seats also do fold down to maximize cargo space by pulling on these levers right here. But trunk space is huge back in this generation Civic. Full manual passenger seat. You also do have a 12-volt power outlet right there too, in the little storage cubby. Your glove box compartment, I'm actually quite surprised it slams right down. I did expect it to be dampened. So the 2016 Honda Civic moves back up to being top of the class once again with its roomy interior, its well-balanced driving dynamics, its fuel-efficient and potent powertrains, and its many standard and optional features. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.